Hello and welcome back to another episode of Coffee with M and J. Now, I'm Jamie and I'm going to take us off the rails today. So let's real quick, I'm going to take us off the rails before we even get started. So,
Sounds like a
um,
fun episode.
let's hope so. Let's hope so. Mandy and I both have this very low vibing energy. So let's see if
For
just this
sure.
conversation can pick us up a little bit. So our first pick me up though would be what's in our cups. So Mandy, what are you drinking today? What's in your cup?
I have to first share for those who are watching on YouTube, my cute Harry Potter mug that my son's girlfriend gave me for just no reason except for the fact that she saw and thought of me. So super
Oh,
sweet. And then I am drinking it's Nespresso pod. It's purple extra, so it has extra caffeine in it. With honey and cinnamon. Just honey and cinnamon today. I'm trying to drop out the caramel. So just a little bit of honey and yeah.
I'm proud of you for the record for
Um,
reducing your sugar.
did you see Nikki's suggestion about using a little bit of maple, like normal, like organic maple syrup, like natural
No.
maple syrup?
Uh-uh.
She posted on one of her comments. I'm like, I might have to try that.
Hmm.
So, fun fact about Nikki, we might have to have her on someday, but her husband actually harvests maple syrup.
I love that so much. I have all these fond memories of going to maple syrup farms as a kid because I grew up in the northeast part of the United
Yeah,
States.
yeah, that's
Um,
fun.
and I
Sorry,
do
random.
think, no, this episode might just be off the rails, like the
Yeah,
entire
no,
thing. I also think we need to have Nikki on because she's she is a business owner.
yep,
She is an illustrator. Her art is adorable, and she's one of our biggest supporters.
I know, I love it. She's so fun. I love all the comments and like what she says and all the things.
Yes, I mean, she does all the things. She listens, she comments. She's really,
Mhm.
really part of the community here.
Yes, she
Um,
is. What's in your cup, Jamie?
Okay, so my cup, today and maybe next time too. My neighbors gave me more Atlas coffee. So
Yum. Not an
today,
ad for Nespresso or Atlas coffee, but
correct. Correct. They wouldn't be, they're not sponsors yet.
yep,
I
yep.
would love for Atlas Coffee Club to pick us up, support us, sponsor us.
Yes, yes. So what type?
Okay, so it's Costa Rican.
Okay.
And I forgot the bag in the kitchen with almond milk. And this is the cup of coffee with collagen.
Okay.
So this is my collagen powder
Okay.
coffee, one a day. Um, okay, so now that we have our coffee and we're going to get caffeinated,
Mm-hmm.
our intention today was to talk about building the business of your dreams. Um,
Yeah.
but when we logged on, where the natural organic conversation is today is being full.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And
Yeah.
I'm not talking about like I'm actually really hungry. If you hear this, it's my stomach. But like Mandy and I, Mandy and I, for completely different reasons, are really full right now in our lives. And
Yes.
not everyone understands
No.
all of the moving parts behind the scenes. And I'm not just talking about for the podcast, I'm talking about life. So I
Yep,
want to
for
kind of
sure.
throw the ball to you because I want to talk about how crazy your life has been lately.
I think I've been trying to book a couple of things with a few people and I keep on giving them like 3 and 4 weeks out, which is kind of crazy if you think about it, for like an hour, maybe two at most, right? Like
Mhm.
I'm booking 3 and 4 weeks out for simple conversations about growth, right? Like growing a business. Or now if I had two, I probably could be like, well, I can fit you in here, I can fit you in here. But how I've structured my weeks, I'm literally booking 3 and 4 weeks out at this point. And it's a really awesome place in my business to be. But
Mm-hmm.
also I feel like people feel like I should be able just to drop everything in an instant to be available for them as
Mm.
a small business. I'm like, oh,
Do
it's
you,
interesting.
well, I'm curious. Do you think they actually think that you should drop everything? Or do you think it's really that they just don't know what your life is like and where your
I'm
priorities are?
It could be that they just don't understand because their schedule's not that full, right? So they just don't understand why I'm not able to just be like, oh, I'm available on Friday or whatever it is. That very well could be it, right? Give everybody their own place and time and pace. But I am very much to the place in my personal business that it's time to hire somebody, and I'm in the process of hiring a contractor to work with me. Um, and so, which is super exciting for my business.
That's how I wanted to interrupt and say congratulations. That is
Thank
super
you. I mean,
exciting.
that's a big growth
That's
moment
a
for a solo entrepreneur, right? To hire
yes.
even a contractor to help
Yes.
consistently. Now, I do have like other people that I'll have help me every once in a while, but like someone consistently that I'm going to be paying weekly, like I'm being like, this is how many hours I need you to work, kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Just to help take some of it off my plate
Yeah.
because I am to the point where I'm like drinking from a fire hose of busyness between business and personal life. And I have a senior. So what I have like 8, 9 weeks till graduation. So there's all the senior things.
Uh-huh.
I would say like I've done social media for the local high school band, but I've for the most part passed that off, which is kind of crazy for me for the first time in forever, right? I
Congratulations
passed the
again. That was one of
as
my
a
questions.
volunteer, yeah. I kind of turned it over about 2 months ago, and I'm like, hey, look, I'm here on backup for you. I'm still doing senior posting because that's what I committed to and being like backup.
Mhm.
But it's a large chunk of time, even though you do it a lot from your phone and at home, you're on a lot at every event. You don't really like, yes, you're there watching your kid, but it's not just about watching your kid. You're also posting for an entire group. And so you have
Mhm.
to be mindful, like, oh, my videos can't just be of my child. It has to be of the entire group. Or, oh, pictures, I can't just post my kid away. Like, you can't just capture those moments just for yourself. You have to capture them for a large group. So it changes your mindset on a lot of things, how you're constantly writing. And, anyways, so I finally kind of passed that off and I'm still in the wings just in case. But because it's such a large volunteer position, I felt like the person that's taking over really needs to have that like that time to get into it. Do you know what I mean? With backup and questions. Not that I'm going
Sure.
anywhere. Of course you can text me, but so I have that. I mean, it's just a busy season
Yeah.
of life and business and I mean, I just got back from the social media marketing world, which I spent 5 days in Southern California learning from some of the most cutting edge, world renowned social media experts, right? And which is so cool because I mean, social media isn't just like Meta, Instagram and TikTok and Facebook and YouTube and podcasting and X and threads and it's email marketing. It's such a large pie, right? That I just don't think that people really, when they think social media, they literally just think a few apps, and it's so much bigger than that.
Mhm.
So that was a really, really cool conference, and now I'm about to go to another conference the rest of this week. But um,
Okay, so
it's
I
just
think
a
that's
season.
yes, and I think I think what you just said is a really interesting parallel to exactly what we were talking about a minute ago. People can't know what they don't know. Like people don't automatically assume your schedule is full when
Hmm.
you're booking 3 weeks out, 4 weeks out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, they don't automatic like, and when people, I'm so curious what everyone, what when I say social media, what's your first thought, right?
Hmm.
Like,
Hmm.
because I think people who do not work on social media, it's just their scroll. They
For
don't
sure.
know, they don't think about the algorithms, and they don't think
No.
about the graphics and um
How long someone spends on a post determines how many more people will see it. The clicks, the likes, the shares, the interactions. I
they don't
mean,
think about the behind the scenes. That I
exactly. They don't. Here's my one thing for the people that listen today. If you have a friend who owns a business and you're a watcher and you never interact with their posts, right? I don't care if you're buying from your friend. That's completely a whole different conversation. But if you could just interact with their posts on the regular, it could be a business changing move that you could make for them. Just
yes.
interacting with their posts. Because the part that people don't understand when it comes to social media is when one person likes it, comments, shares it, saves it, it pushes just a little bit further in the algorithm, which means the bubble gets a little bigger on how many people see it.
So are there some interactions that are more impactful than others?
For sure. And it depends on the platform. So on Facebook, it's completely different than on Instagram or TikTok or threads, or so there's no one answer, right? Right now, like for instance, on Instagram, it's shares, saves, comments, and then likes, and or watching a full video. Like staying to the end of
Mm.
your friends' videos is so important because here's the thing. When you make a reel, it takes a lot of energy, right? Like if we're going to talk about wellness, like making a reel is draining. It can be very draining. And it is so frustrating when you're like, man, this reel is going to be amazing. And then it gets 3 seconds of view time. And you're like, well, they didn't even watch. Like they didn't even get to see the good stuff. Right. Which I know
Uh,
is part of making a good reel is you really have to jump in and you have to be really upfront fast, right? Like those first 3 seconds and then the next four. So 7 seconds. And then the next two. And then like the algorithm is based off how much other people are consuming.
mm, okay.
So yeah, I mean, it's important.
Yeah, and it does everything you do, everything you create for anything, any digital platform, it
Mm-hmm.
is an energy exchange. And
Yes.
you can use physical energy. Like you can feel like literally tired.
Yes.
No different than any other office job where you're sitting working on your computer all day. You stand up and you're like, oh, I'm so fatigued,
Yep.
right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
it is, but I think, um, gosh, when it comes to business, when it comes to personal, don't assume. Ask
No.
questions. I'm going to go
Yes.
back to curiosity. Like,
Yes. Curiosity is so
like,
important.
okay, wow. You're booking 3 to 4 weeks out.
Hmm.
You must be really busy.
Yeah, and there is that fine line. I don't want anybody to ever feel like I am too busy for them, right? Because
Yep.
that's not it. I absolutely want to make time for people and for business owners, but also um it depends on the category of the meeting too. Obviously, I'm going to prioritize my paying clients and future paying clients. Those are my priority. They're paying for my time. They
Mm-hmm.
get my priority. Versus things for the podcast aren't my priority. They're high on my
That's
priority,
funny.
but it's not my priority as much as I want it to be. Like it can't. It
Mm.
just can't. So, um, not that I don't do things for the podcast, but Jamie does share a lot of the burden most of the time. Sorry, Jamie.
I- you know, it for the most part it's been fun.
Mm-hmm.
And the podcast for me is usually a welcome distraction because it's fun. Uh
Yeah.
but it's funny too though, Mandy, how people view that because oh, like Mandy and Jamie are doing a podcast. Jamie's got a much bigger personality. Jamie has
Uh-huh.
more words, but I bet everybody thinks that you are doing all the behind the scenes stuff. And
Maybe,
I'm like,
yeah.
hey, I did that.
I mean,
I
Jamie got
sent
us onto
that email.
YouTube. Um, I've taught Jamie how to do everything that I'm doing. So if I can't get to it, she can. Like, and I guess like this season for me is a lot about time blocking, right?
Mm,
So I'm time blocking right now very heavily. And if it doesn't fit within my time block, it has to wait. And so some bits of my time book out further than others. And maybe
mm-hmm,
that's the best point is that you might be asking for something that in my time block is a 3 or 4 week period. And I'm just about to switch in my business also to where before I would be like, oh, you want to start on the 16th of April? Yeah, we can do that. Write an account. And so I'm actually going to change that. I only start people on the first
that's smart.
and the first of the month. And the onboarding period will be more than just a week or two. It's literally going to be like, oh, you want to work with me May 1st. Well, actually, based off the timing and where we're at in the month, you probably aren't going to start till June 1st at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Hmm.
um, that's just where we're at. What? What are you laughing at?
I just had a thought that was like, wouldn't it be funny if you started with that new client on June 1st and I finally, never mind. Never mind.
Okay.
I'm just, but it's that moment, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, I wanted my house on the market by March 1st. And
Yep.
March 1st came and I looked and I was like, well, shit, that's not happening. Let's recalibrate. Let's shoot for April 1st. And
Yep.
here we are, you know, and this will air. We're talking dates and
Yep.
this
It's
this will
fine. It
air
didn't
a
happen by
couple
April 1st either.
it didn't happen by April 1st either. So, and as I'm looking down April, I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, huh. So, I mean, I don't know. I feel like for me, some things that the work sometimes takes longer than you think it will.
For sure. But also giving yourself the space to get there and realize it and be okay with it is healthy,
Okay. Yeah.
right? Sometimes it doesn't work on the timeline we think it will, and you have to be able to pivot, take a step left, take a step right, go over, under, and adjust.
Go
I think
off the rails.
that's my whole motto is pivot and adjust.
Pivot
Like
and
life
adjust.
is so hard if you only see one path.
Sure.
There are so many paths to get to where you want. Sometimes you have to pivot and adjust. Just like me time blocking, I might come to the realization that shit, I'm shooting myself in the foot. What am I doing? And I have to pivot and adjust. Just not there yet.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, do you want to tell us your favorite part from your California trip, or do we want to hop on the rails and actually talk about building the business of your dreams?
And I think that's going to be a separate podcast.
Okay.
So, my favorite part of California, while I do miss walking to get coffee every morning, that for sure it's
Mm,
just like a little half mile walk to get coffee and sit in a cute coffee shop. And I wish it was walkable here and not 9 million degrees. So there's that part. That doesn't really apply though. As far as the conference goes, that's my personal like my coffee picks were like top notch. I should share some of those in our story. Maybe I'll do that later on today if I get the chance.
hey, I've even
Um
been better about that.
yes you
I have
have.
been better. Like even, just I'm taking a 10-minute coffee break in my backyard. Click. Story
Yeah.
for coffee with M&J.
Yes. We have for those of you who don't know, we have like little like wish list items for us both to do to contribute to our social media pages and interact with our community, and that is one of them. So there you now you know when you see our coffee pics, that's intentional. We're trying to do that every day, but sometimes doesn't happen every day, obviously. Um, I took this really cool workshop that it was called the 10 shot challenge. And if you follow me on my social media pages, which is M and J Designs and Marketing, you'll see because I'm going to start doing them once a month or once a week. That's my own challenge to myself to get better at that
Hang
style.
on.
Yes.
You're MJ, not
Oh, did I say M
MNJ.
and J? Bless my brain.
I love you. I
MJ
love you.
Designs
And
and
I don't
Marketing.
I don't want
Woo!
that dot thing to be an issue. You are not
It is dot.
MNJ designs and
Yeah, yeah,
marketing.
yeah.
You are MJ.
Bless. Thank you. Thank you, Jamie, for knowing
You're
my
welcome.
business name when my brain apparently doesn't.
You're welcome.
Um, but follow along my journey. I'm basically for the rest of the year, I'm going to be doing a 10 shot video challenge for myself. So the goal is for the video to be 30 to 60 seconds, and it's 10 video shots, and that's it of random everyday items. In fact, I'm sitting here looking, and I think this just might be my next video, or maybe the wiener dog. I don't know. One of the two.
That's funny.
They're little stress balls, the hive and
Yeah.
then the beauty. Yeah. Anyways, just for funsies because I can. So, yeah, you're just supposed to take everyday items and 10 shot video, and it was probably the most impactful workshop I went to.
Congratulations. I'm so
Thank
excited
you.
for you.
Thank you. Yeah.
And I'm excited to see how those posts do because
Yeah.
I don't know, even we were before we hit record, we were talking I want to do something different with my Friday posts.
Mm-hmm.
And I have not yet landed on the one that's like, ooh, that's fun,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I forgot to set a timer. I don't know how long we've been talking. And eh, okay, so with our season technically being about wellness, in all of this crazy busyness,
Mm-hmm.
the traveling, the preparing for graduation, the not just doing your own social media, but doing it for many, many others.
Yes.
How are you taking care of yourself, your mental wellness, your physical wellness, your emotional wellness? How are you taking care of yourself, Mandy?
I drink lots of coffee. um, for those of you who don't know, I had some hip issues recently, and I actually had a relapse of hip issues. And I think it was from weeding, which was crazy. So hopefully I can get that figured out literally 2 days ago. So, um, spend time at the gym, not just doing cardio, but actually physically lifting weights. So that's something that's a goal for wellness for myself. Moving my body, even if it's just walking, right? Walking to the mall versus driving there, things like that. Um, I really have, it's an interesting, my creative brain wakes up at night. So I do end up working a lot. Part of being an entrepreneur, right, is we're always on. So sometimes I do feel like I'm literally working 12 and 15-hour days just because I do business stuff during the day, but then my creativity wakes up at night. And so then like 11, 12 o'clock, I'm still awake being creative because that's when it has finally come to me after I've tried all day.
Yeah.
So, I like to take slow mornings, which is
Mm.
self-care for myself. I'm not a get up and get moving. I'm not a morning person, which is fine. I'm a night person. Just like there's lots of people that aren't night people. So I like to have a slow coffee. I do interact in the morning on all the pages. It's my chill time. I
Okay.
try to completely take the weekends off. That is my goal is if I scroll, it's scrolling for myself. But for the most part, I will log in. I do like Senior Sunday for my son and things like that, but I'm not on like scrolling. I'll play some games on my phone and stuff, but I try to take digital breaks on the weekends if I can help it.
So, if you had a wellness tip, it would be to take digital breaks or
Yeah.
what else?
Yeah. You don't, I mean, coming from someone that does social media for other people and for myself, right, for my business, um, if you're running your own business page, you don't have to post 7 days a week. You don't even have to post 5 days a week. You just have to show up consistently. And what does consistently mean for you? 2 days a week is probably not enough, but that 3 to 4 day a week period and once a day is absolutely enough. But you can't just post. You have to get on and interact also. So that would be my tip is that figure out when you're consistently going to be on and the rest of the time take a break.
Okay. But make it intentional.
Yes. Like stick to a plan.
Yeah.
If
I
you're
think,
like, I'm going to post Monday through Thursday, then you better be posting Monday through Thursday consistently. And
yeah.
not just posting, interacting, answering comments, building a community, which also means going to other people's pages and interacting. Yes.
You can take the days off that you do not want to be on
Yeah.
media of
Yeah.
whatever platform.
Yeah. You got to
Be
think of social
intentional
media.
about it. Don't work yourself until you crash or burn out.
Yes. You got to think
Plan
of
time off. That's it.
social media as your digital storefront, right? Yes, you can sell things 24/7 on a digital storefront, but that doesn't mean customer service is going to answer. And if you had a brick and mortar location, you're not open 24/7. You have posted business hours and the doors open when you unlock them. Social media is no different. Just because you get a DM at 11 o'clock at night doesn't mean you answer at 11 o'clock at night. If you
Mhm.
work 9 to 5, Monday through Thursday, then you answer 9 to 5, Monday through Thursday. Full stop. Set boundaries.
Mm. Business boundaries, not only with your time with clients, but with your time, like your own personal business boundaries. What
Yeah.
you're willing to do, what you're not willing to do. These are my office hours.
Yep.
That can be hard as an entrepreneur because
For sure.
it
For
is
sure.
sometimes I find that I really have to just bring myself back to the present moment. And
Mm-hmm.
and then people are like, "Oh yeah, like you make that sound so easy." And sometimes it is and sometimes it's not. But um I guess what I'll throw in there yeah, just look down at your feet. Enjoy this,
Mm-hmm.
set your phone down if you have to. I had somebody messaging me the other day and um I wasn't quite sure where my phone was for like an hour and it wasn't lost. I
Yeah.
just set it down very
Yeah.
intentionally. And when I went back, it was like, why aren't you answering me? Why aren't you answering me? It was probably one of my kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, okay, because I set my phone down.
Yeah. Yeah. You can disconnect from it. Like I sometimes I have to work with it plugged in, but I try to plug my phone in when it's low and walk away from it. Right? Like if
Mhm.
you're like, oh, my phone's below 50%, plug it in and walk away.
Okay. I
And
find
I on that note,
there is a time of day though, Mandy, that you can find me it usually making a reel plugged into one of the outlets in the kitchen where I can actually sit on a bar stool and be plugged in like without an extension cord
you cracked me up.
making
You
a
just need
reel.
a longer cord.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Well, cheers, my friend. I think that's it for today.
All right.
Talk to you soon. Thanks for listening and watching.
Bye everyone.
Bye.